Listen, I said this. Sorry, Jared, real quick. I said this earlier in my soliloquy, and I said the reason why men don't understand their positioning is because we got to start telling everybody the truth. Like a man's positioning is to always tell somebody exactly what it is and set everything up. Do not lie to women. Do not lie to your kids. Do not lie to your mom. Keep everything straight. Tell them exactly what it is, and I think that's the position of a man. Even if a woman is coming up to you and she's giving you a story or whatever, I might have sympathy to her because she's a lady. And both of the women quoted the scriptures, they quoted the Bible, but one of the things that they didn't mention was that they are the weaker vessel. The Bible says that. So if you're the weaker vessel, and as a man, I come into your life, not saying that I have all the answers and I submit to Christ, Christ is telling me to lead you and to tell you to sit down. And why are you in a snowstorm? Why are you driving with no snow tires? Why are you doing all that? And then if I do come out and see you, and I do help you, mind you, I don't know how you treated this man. If you had a good attitude when he came out there or whatever. And I know we're bringing up the snowstorm, which I don't believe, because it's unbelievable that you went into 3 ditches. I just don't understand why that would happen. But
have you ever tried to drive on frozen ice?
She shouldn't be
never in my
working and
life.
going like
Never in my life have I ever tried to drive on snowy ice because a man would know to pull off to the side and go get a hotel.
So then why didn't he pull her?
Bingo.
All right, you guys. Let me say this real quickly, okay? Because I've driven in the snow, and Hank, I'm not sure if it snows where you are. Does it snow where you are?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And do you guys have salt?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So in Chicago, we're prepared for snow. I think in Atlanta
Tell them about it.
and Texas, they're not prepared for snow. They don't even have salt at all. So my first experience with that, it was like an ice capade. If you do have to go to work and it begins to snow and it's below freezing and it freezes, then it's a very dangerous situation. I don't know if you guys seen that big pile up that happened because Texas has a lot of different highways and there's nothing underneath it. So they freeze like crazy. So you would think like, why don't they have any salt? If they know this happens once a month, why don't they just have salt for it? I still can't understand it, but the whole city shuts down. The whole city shuts down. You cannot drive at all. And if you attempt to drive, which
to this day,
yeah.
But I did not start off. I did not start off in the snow like you saying, Lapeef. It did not start off as frozen ice like you just said. So yeah.
But Lapeef, if your girl,
it didn't start off as frozen ice, but it started off snowing. So y'all, I assume y'all got forecasters, right? Y'all got meteorologists, right? Y'all did not pay attention to the snow when they talk about snow. When y'all heard about snow, knowing y'all ain't got no salt, knowing y'all got nobody prepared, but I'm still go out to work and work for this white man and take a chance on my life by going to work and trying to come home. Yeah, that makes no sense.
It didn't
if you
start
see it started
while we
snowing,
went
man,
at work.
because it did. I know it wasn't that cold where it just all of a sudden, as soon as you got to work, it froze. No, it wasn't that goddamn cold. It was cold, but
we
not
were
that
in
cold.
traffic for
over
3 hours.
time,
we were in traffic for 3 hours.
I'm sure you was, but you never should have been out in it. That's what I'm trying to say.
It didn't
I don't care
snow.
if you got to go to work.
It didn't
Take
snow
a personal day. Take a sick day. Take a vacation day. Don't travel out in that weather. But you're going to put this man back out here. 3 men already saved you. And somehow with your 4-wheel drive and your good Mercedes-Benz, and you went off the road 2 more times. The second time they tell you, maybe I just need to go home with this man and leave my car wherever it is, and we'll come back when it's more safe to drive. Instead,
he came. Did he take me home? Did you not listen? He didn't even
Well-
take me home.
Girl, don't entertain him.
You're not even listening, sir.
Ma'am,
Oh
I
yeah,
heard
let's make
what
sure we
you
get back
said.
on.
You said
Let's
you
make sure we
didn't
get back
take
on
me
topic again. I don't want to spend too much time on this.
But we are talking about like the
Hey,
expectation of the masculine identity to be a protector, to be a provider. Provision means to see into the future what is necessary, and she had this expectation. If everything what Hank said is correct, and he is absolutely correct, being in a snowstorm with a child is so ridiculously risky for you, the baby. Now you're also putting him into it. I think it's not that I don't think he's entirely blaming you. He's upset that you're not even moving with the sense of consideration of the risk. And then he has to be in the position to be a hero where it could have all been avoided. That's what I'm hearing.
It wasn't, and like Lapeef
but
said, it wasn't a big of a risk. We had warnings the week before, and it did not happen as bad as it did that day. So it
But
was.
no, it
I
has
left
to be a
work to
risk.
get my child.
because if
I
they
left
were,
work to get my child, and it literally took us about 3 to 4 hours to get home. By the time we made it to my side of town, the snow was frozen. I didn't have that issue on my way home. By the time we made it to my side, frozen. The pileup that Lapeef just
but
talked
weren't you guys going back and
Hotel,
forth about the
What?
hotel,
anyway?
hotel.
Host wants us to get off the topic, but it's just I think it
Yeah,
goes back
No,
to
I
Matt's
she should
question.
have got a
I got
hotel to be.
I got a quick question. So once he did arrive, he didn't offer to take you guys home, or
that.
what?
That was my suggestion. He kept saying I should not leave my car. It's going to be gone by the morning. Mind you, there were other wrecks. And then I didn't even finish, you guys. He left me to go get his auntie and sat with her all night. So what we talking about?
Okay. Well, all right. So I do have a question to. No, you're right. I'll give you that. I think the whole situation could have been avoided, but just to move on, Angela, I do have a question to the statement that you made. So you had acknowledged that Black men have a different experience than other men, and then you stated how essentially it's a poorer experience that Black men have compared to other men. So with knowing that, how is it that that man feeling that he wants to be needed in a situation where you just acknowledge that the Black man has a poorer experience in the world and relationships, but for him to want to be needed is a problem? I don't understand that.
I don't. My claim is not that the man should not or does not feel or doesn't feel needed in a relationship. That's not my claim. What I'm talking about are the factors that influence this. That's all I'm saying. I'm not like here to. That's not. And the other party is as far as I want to understand what ways do men want to be needed in a relationship? Because, for example, here, I'm sorry, she
Kiara.
was just talking about how she was needing a man for something, and she also talks about how he did or did not show up in the way that she made her say. So I feel like women do display needs that they need a man. And I don't fully understand how men don't feel needed when it comes to a romantic relationship.
I can explain it to you.
Okay.
You got some time. I think sometimes these situations, her situation, which I'm sorry that occurred to you, Kiara. I think unfortunately sometimes by the time you need us, it's too late because you've displayed from the time we've met you that your life is together, you're structured, and you're so self-sufficient that you only need us when you can't handle it or it's past your scope. Men generally want to feel needed from the time we meet you. And it's not need to a desperation perspective because we know you're capable clearly. But I think that unfortunately, a lot of the women, especially out here in the West, they don't know how and where to plug him.
Yeah.
And that's what I see happening more.
What do you mean by pluck him?
Plug him. Like, okay, so if I'm dealing with an adult, I'm not sure how young you are, how old you are, but if you are of I'd say 25 plus, 30 plus, you having a home, a job, a car, standard crap, that's standard, right? You know that, I know that. So if we're connecting on a relationship level, what you don't have is a man. What you don't have is intimacy. What you don't have is some level of oneness or team. You don't have that. But what I see happening is that a lot of women only know how to show up tangibly. They suck at intimacy. So it's a competition type of situation. See, now it's about square footage, who's more educated, who works where, who makes what, and that has nothing to do with relationships. Relationship is a dance. It's a where do y'all benefit from you characteristically? What has been your experiences that I may not have had? Because one thing that we do have that you guys will never have is we're men always in Black men, really. And I love it.